all of our other social media platforms up and running. So we are also on YouTube as well. So thank you guys for taking time to make it to this live broadcast. I sincerely appreciate it. My name is Tamani Mondani. I'm a contributing member of the Black Gold Movement in an effort to build a Black Gold Nation. And we are focused on putting Black people in a position to win, period. I am a, a student, a revolutionary product, if you will, of the Shrines of the Black Madonna under the indirect tutelage of Reverend Albert B. Clegg, known in the conscious Christian community or even nationwide as Jeramogi Bebe Ajuman, and the direct tutelage on Cardinal Mbayu Chewy. Unlike most Black people in this country, I can say that my revolutionary lineage, I can say where it starts, who taught me, what I learned, what I was trained to do, and now I am moving forward in that vein with that training. All of us should be able to do that, state where we got our revolutionary training and what we're doing as a result of it. That is one of the things that I wear with a badge of honor, having been a member of that Christian organization that has placed me on the path to do what I'm doing. I stress that because oftentimes our people think that just because a person has a religious belief, not that I am particularly religious, just because a person has a religious belief means that they are not connected, aren't willing to do, aren't interested or whatever, which is absolutely wrong. So I want to focus on first, let me talk about what it means to be Black in America moving forward. Our reality in America is different than anyone else's, only because our history in America is different than anyone else's. We have a very unique history, a very unique set of circumstances that only we can fix because nobody is coming to save us. And yes, we did not create the problems that our communities are facing. But unfortunately, it's on us to deal with those problems. And yes, it is unfair, but it is what it is. However, Black people, in my opinion, are engineers by nature. We've been inventing since inventing was invented. There is nothing that we won't find a workaround for. There's nothing we won't find a solution for. There is nothing we won't find an antenna with aluminum foil on it for, to make sure that we can get the TV channels we want to get. And those of you who are over 40 know what I'm talking about. So we are going to do what we need to do to move ourselves forward. And if we focus on those needs, then we can make some things happen. So in 2019, moving forward, this is what we're facing as a people in this country. You can call us Black. If you have a problem with that, call us melanated. I heard a new one this past week, carbonated, carbon. ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, African Americans, indigenous people of this land. I don't care what you call us, but I am referring to the Black people that live in America that got here via slavery, on slave ships from Africa, or that were prisoners of war because we were already here with the Native Americans, or the indigenous people of this land. That's who I'm referring to when I say Black, in case you're confused. Okay, our reality in 2019, the bottom 50% of Black households are worth less than $1. We got more brothers in prison in this country than all women who are incarcerated worldwide. Our brothers and sisters who are farming, they're still being discriminated against and still struggling because they can't get the support they need from the USDA. They can't get the loans and they can't get their products and food to market. Automation, artificial intelligence, and machine language is replacing millions of jobs, which affects us. The White House just removed 3 million people from the food stamp rolls. And although there are more white people on food stamps than Black people, that does not mean that a large portion of that cut does not affect or will not affect or is not affecting our people. There is purge activity in Black communities nationwide. And if by that, if you have not seen the movie The Purge, it is where America makes it legal to commit crime, any crime you want, for I think a 12-hour period. There's purge activity in our communities nationwide: assassinations, murders, kidnappings, organ and sex trafficking. White people committing crimes in Hollywood-style Black masks to look like Black people, with Black skin, Black gloves, and the police are looking for Black people, although white people are committing these crimes. I need to add to that, there are weapons being dropped off in Black communities, crates of weapons, and people are finding the weapons, and of course they're using them, some for protection, some to commit crimes upon Black people, and some gang members are using to kill each other. That's activity that's happening in our communities nationwide. The Donald Trump administration, has refused to label and pursue domestic terrorism by white identity extremists on the same level as foreign terrorists. The Donald Trump administration has refused to label and pursue domestic terrorism by white terrorists on the same level as they have pursued foreign terrorists. Under President Trump, the FBI's official counterterrorism priorities, have included black identity extremists, anti-authority extremists, and animal rights environmental extremists. The Department of Homeland Security and a recent study has found that state and local law enforcement agencies nationwide have been infiltrated with neo-Nazi members and started secret terrorist cells developed to terrorize Black and Latino residents. That is a new one, so I'm going to read it again. The Department of Homeland Security and a recent study has found that state and local law enforcement agencies nationwide have been infiltrated with neo-Nazi members and started secret terrorist cells developed to terrorize Black and Latino residents. This is what it means to be Black in America. We are faced with over 100 conservative think tanks that are focused on maintaining white supremacy and white power. White people being paid to think about whiteness. Who are we paying to think about blackness? A criminal justice system that's never been just. A bail bond system that's always been unfair and unjust. An education system that has never properly educated us, our children, and it never will. A school to prison pipeline that is alive and well and highly functional in our communities. A multi-billion-dollar prison industrial complex that you can buy stock in, that several small rural towns in America would die and not exist if it were not for the local prison. So it is not about a punishment or rehabilitation. It's about making money in free labor, which is a direct result of what happened after slavery in this country with convict leasing and peonage farms, a direct result. Redlining, gerrymandering, and gentrification, which is political power at its finest, working against us, not for us. Over 900 white supremacist organizations in existence right now, of which many of them are training for a race war. That's what it means to be Black in America. That's what we're up against. Over 900 white supremacist organizations that the Trump administration refuses to pursue as terrorists, despite the fact that they've committed more terrorist acts in this country than anybody else since 9/11. We got to face that. There have been over 255 mass shootings in America since the beginning of this year, and there will be more. Over the past decade, the annual estimates of the number of gangs in the U.S. is approximately 27,000. That's important to know because we know that gang activity, gang members prey upon our people. Our people prey upon our people. As I like to say, excuse my French, niggas come in all colors. So we have to prepare to fight against that because that is our reality in 2019 moving forward. In Flint, Michigan, they are still Flint, Michigan is still struggling to have safe water to drink, bathe in, and use. A large portion of Puerto Rico, which is American citizens, people of color, still without power after 6 months. The Donald Trump administration under Jeff Sessions has reinstituted the privatizing of federal prisons, which of course, again, means it's for profit. The Department of Justice has proven that cities like Baltimore and Chicago have, quote, engaged in a pattern and practice of conduct that violates the First, Fourth, and 14th Amendments. The First Amendment deals with the rights, the freedom of religion, speech, the press, and the right to petition your government if you have an issue with them. The Fourth Amendment deals with unlawful search and seizures, which means the police can't just come, pull you over, break into your home, and start searching your stuff or your person. And the 14th Amendment deals with our equal rights after slavery. And lastly, the Donald Trump administration has repealed civil rights protections all across this country in HUD, in Commerce, and many other governmental departments. That is a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America. That is a brief snapshot of what we're facing in America. There is no way in hell any one Black person is going to be able to utilize their individual success to protect them from everything we're facing in America moving forward. Your individual success is good. It's important. It's noteworthy, but it is not enough. Too often, we make the mistake of only focusing on our individual personal success, our individual personal lives, our individual family success, and we forget that we are attached to a people, and we are treated as if we are a member of that group, Black people. So your being individually successful is not enough as it relates to what we're up against, because If something happens, then they're not going to ask you if you were successful individually. You're going to be lumped in the group that they have a problem with, which is Black people. And we got to deal with that. We have to understand that in 2019 moving forward, we have to change. We have to change because America is changing, and those changes are not pro-Black. We have to understand that in 2019 moving forward, we have to do things differently, completely, radically different, in ways that we have never done before. We have to prepare ourselves for an onslaught of activity that is anti-us. And if we've been paying attention, if we know anything about our history in this country, what I am saying should not be a surprise, because it's always been that way. America has never respected us. America has never treated us fairly. America has never done right by us, and America has never given us what we deserve to move ourselves forward. And the only reason America is as great as she is because we forced her to be that way, by forcing her to uphold her ideals and her standards that she placed on paper. We've come a long way, but we still have a very long way to go, and we're still not in a position to dictate and determine what happens to us, because we have yet to organize ourselves in a fashion that will allow us to use the power that's available to us to protect ourselves, our communities, our children, and our people moving forward. That is a brief snapshot I just read, a brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America. Brother Rickey Smiley, the comedian, brother whom I've been a fan of for years, he did a skit talking about Black bands and white bands. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube, type in Rickey Smiley, Black bands, white bands. Absolutely hilarious. I first came across the brothers, I think I was listening to, they used to do, I'm not sure if they still do them, but they used to do phone pranks. I think they still do them. That had to be some 15 plus years ago, 10 plus years ago. So I've been a fan of Rickey Smiley for a very long time, but I did not know that he was the kind of brother who was paying attention. And I don't know if he was paying attention before he watched the CNN special, but he's most certainly paying attention now. If you haven't seen it, it is most certainly on my homepage on YouTube, on Facebook, excuse me. It is on the Black Gold Nations page, and it's if you type in Rickey Smiley CNN, it'll probably pop up. You need to watch it. Watch the video, because what he's talking about is what it means to be Black in America. What he's talking about is the rise of white supremacy per a report done by CNN, which directly affects us here in America. What he's talking about is an organized threat that has us in their crosshairs. What Brother Rickey Smiley is talking about is predators that exist that seek to do us harm. Predators that blame us for the country changing. Predators that blame us for the issues the country is having. And unfortunately, we now have a president that is stoking those flames, stoking those embers, and is giving these people a sense of pride and honor and the red light to be overtly, not covertly, overtly racist in public. They've always been there. We've always had to deal with them, but now it's different because they're becoming more bold in their actions. These mass shootings, if you've been paying attention, have direct connections with some of these organizations. That's an issue for us because we have yet to put ourselves in a position to protect ourselves. We have yet to put ourselves in a position so that we can fight back as a group. We have yet to put ourselves in a position where we can put layers of security around our children, despite the fact that we know we should. That is a testament to our psychosis in this country. Black people don't think like other people. Black people don't act like other people. Black people don't do like other people because of what we've been through. We've had a conditioning process that has changed our mentality and how we think and how we do for over 400 years in this country. The people that got off the slave ship were not slaves. The people that got off the slave ship used to literally run the world. The people that got off the slave ship were kings, queens, royalty, engineers, scientists, world travelers, astronomers, astrologers, agriculturalists, community members, community leaders, warriors, soldiers, spiritual healers, medical men and women, people that used to run the world. That's who got off the slave ship. And they didn't get off the slave ship on a Monday and agree to be a slave on Tuesday. It didn't happen that way. A process took us from being the people that we were, people that used to run the world, to the people that you now see walking around in America today, and people that can barely run their block. We still have the ability to be those people, but we have to get back to being what we were. And we can only get back to being what we were if we are in a position to put our own systems in place that's going to reverse the conditioning process that's been forced upon us over the past 400 years. If we're going to win, we have to have our own communities that we own and control. If we're going to win, we have to have our own institutions that we own and control. If we're going to win, we have to have our own security, our own businesses, our own grocery stores, our own agricultural systems, our own legal systems, our own political machinery, our own spiritual healing and well-being centers, our own conflict resolution centers. If we're going to win, we have to put every single thing in place that a community needs to live, thrive, and grow in place, because it doesn't exist. The Black community looks the way it looks because we don't own and control the Black community. Yeah, we live there, but we don't own and control it. We have the ability to do so, and we need to put things in place so that we can put our people in a position to win. The video that Brother Rickey Smiley made is a testament to the reality of what it means to be Black in America, and that is the reality that we're facing. Now, he gives some solutions, but the solutions aren't enough. They're too small. He's right in what he's telling us to do, but it's not enough. Brother Rickey Smiley says we need to prepare ourselves, prepare to defend ourselves. That's true. We need to start putting food aside so that we can feed ourselves in the case of martial law. That is true. We need to be preppers. If you don't know what a prepper is, go to YouTube, type in preppers, and start watching some videos. We need to be prepared for a natural disaster, which just makes sense. We need to be prepared if something happens and the grocery store is closed, food isn't there. We need to act as if there's a hurricane coming and it's going to be here in 3 days. And we need to always be preparing. So the advice Brother Rickey Smiley gives is true, it's right, it's correct, but it's not enough. Because buying a handgun and or training with that handgun, buying an assault rifle and or training with that assault rifle, putting food aside and being prepared for to feed yourself for 3, 4, 5, 7, 14 days, all of that is good, but none of that is enough because of what we're facing. We are up against systems that have been in place for hundreds of years. We're up against organizations that have been in place for 30, 40, 50, 60 years. We're up against institutions that have been in place for hundreds of years, and all of them are anti-Black, proven to be anti-Black. The only way we're going to win if we take Brother Rickey Smiley's advice to the next level, and that next level has to be us organizing ourselves in a fashion whereby we can own and control every single thing that touches our lives. From cradle to grave, we need to have control of what's happening to our people and in the communities in which we exist. We need to be pro-Black. And being pro-Black doesn't mean you're anti-white or anti-anything else. It simply means that you love yourself just as much as other people love themselves. So I have given you a very brief snapshot of what it means to be Black in America. It's up to you as if you're going to believe it or not, but it's the truth. The reality is the reality. You're choosing not to focus on it doesn't change it. You're choosing to focus on your individual success doesn't change that reality. You're choosing to go to church and pray and hope things get better doesn't change that reality. What Brother Rickey Smiley says in the video about just praying and not work is right. Faith without work is dead. We have to put ourselves in a position to win. So I've given you a brief snapshot, all of which is researchable, all of which you can look up on your own, all of which is true. And it's a brief snapshot. Now, what do we do as a result of the brief snapshot? We have to act. This is one thing that we can do right now today to start putting things in place to change the reality that we're faced with, and change the trajectory by focusing on our strengths. And we have a lot of strengths. Black people are not intellectually deficient. We're not economically deficient. We're not physically deficient, and we're almost certainly not spiritually deficient. Everything we need, we already have. We simply need to organize ourselves and connect ourselves in a fashion that's going to allow us to win. Very simple solution to what we can do to put ourselves in a position to win. If one Black person goes out and gets one Black person, and those two Black persons, both of whom must care about Black people, if they commit themselves to going out the next day and getting 2 more black people. On that second day, we got 4 black people. The third day, those 4 go out and get 4 more. That's 8. The fourth day, that 8 goes out and get 8 more. That's 16. The fifth day, that 16 goes out and gets 16 more. That's 32. If we continue along those lines, 1 getting 1 every single day, by the end of the 27th day, if each one of those persons give $4 a month, we will have the same amount of money that we gave the movie Black Panther in 1 month, $500 million. 1 black person getting 1 black person. We can do that now. I started yesterday. I didn't just get 1. I got 84, all of whom have said they are ready, and 14 of them are working with us right now. I'm 1 person. I got 14 that are moving. The scenario I just gave you is 1 getting 1. If 1 black person gets 1 black person, and we continue to do that for 27 days, in the end of that 27th day, all of those people gave $4 per month. That will be over $500 million, $534 million to be exact. What could we do to push back against the threats that Brother Rickey Smiley is talking about in his video, with $500 million flowing through an organization that has intent, purpose, revolutionary leadership, visionary plans, and only puts black children and black communities first? What could we accomplish and what could we do? Anything we wanted to. But we have to first put that in motion. Now, if only 10% of those persons at the end of that 27th day, only 10% of that number, which is a lot of people, if 10% gives 5 minutes a day, we'd have over 1 million hours by which we can do something with. We're not going to win focusing on what we can't do. We're not going to win focusing on the things that are stacked against us. We're not going to win focusing on what would be nice, what would be a good idea. We're only going to win if we act and we start doing. Everyone that watches this video can get another black person that cares about black people. Every person that's watching this video can afford $4 per month. We waste $4 every other day. $4 is your Happy Meal from McDonald's. It's your value meal from Jack in the Box. It is your carton of cigarettes. You got to add some money to that because a carton of cigarettes costs more than $4. It is half of your price to get into a club, and it's been a long time since I've been to a club, so I'm sure I'm off on that. It's a third of a movie ticket. It's less than a bucket of popcorn at a movie theater. It's 2 candy bars when you go to the movies. It's less than a drink at the club. It is a third of the cost of a meal at a restaurant. $4 per month. We have to focus on what we can do as opposed to what we cannot. And I run across people every single day, because I communicate with black people from around the world every single day. I run across people that want to give me good ideas, and they have good ideas. They want to talk about what we should do, what we should have, and what we need to do. And I agree with all of it, because black people are not stupid. Black people see what's happening. Black people are intelligent. We know what we need to do. But when I give them the concrete steps to doing what we need to do, they get quiet. Because not all of us are ready to do what needs to be done. And what I'm talking about doing isn't rocket science. It isn't deep. We're not splitting atoms here. We're saying we need 1 black person who cares about black people. 1 black person who loves black people. 1 black person who wants to see black people do better. We want you to go get another black person today. And the 2 of you go get 2 more tomorrow. And the 4 of you get 4 more on Thursday. And the 8 of you get 8 more on Friday. And $1 per month, which is the membership fee that we ask for in this movement, because we need money to do what we need to do. That's over $500 million. What if we're only half as successful? Okay, we got $250 million plus. What if we only 25% successful? Okay, we got $100+ million. Anything we do to move ourselves forward is a success, because right now, as a collective group, we're not doing that. And per what Brother Rickey Smiley is talking about in America is real. Per the list that I just read, the brief snapshot of what it means to be black in America is real. we got to do something, because we have people that are organized against us and are very serious about ensuring they keep what they think is theirs, which is America. They are very serious about ensuring they maintain what they believe is their right and superiority over us, which of course is not true, but that's what they believe. We're not ready for what we're up against, and we don't have a lot of time to get ready. But I am telling you that we can make it happen in a very short period of time if we find enough black people who are ready to make it happen. So I've given you a brief snapshot of what it means to be black in America. Brother Ricky Smiley has given you a very good understanding of what we're up against as it relates to white supremacy in America. I've given you one example, just one, of what we can do to put ourselves in a position economically to start winning. Now I'm going to give you what we would do with that money. I'm not just asking for black people to come together and give $4 a month because it sounds good. I'm not just asking black people to come together and give $4 a month, I don't know, because I don't have anything better to do. I'm asking black people to come together and give a small amount of money in enough numbers so that we can put things in place that are going to move us forward. If you watch any of my videos, if you watch any of my posts, if you go to our website, either website, everything that I've been doing for the past 2.5, 3 years culminated in this moment right now. Everything that I've been doing in this movement, everything we've been doing as a collective group has culminated in this morning, where now we are ready to roll out national plans per our leadership. So you have the snapshot. You have Brother Ricky Smiley's video. I've given you one example of what we could do to put ourselves in a different position economically. Now, what do we do with that money? On October 5th of this year, we're going to have what we're calling the the Black Gold Nations Black Church and Black Organization Survival Summit. The Black Gold Nations Black Church and Black Organization Survival Summit. We want to roll out national plans to put black people in a position to win nationwide via black churches on October 5th of this year. Those plans we're going to detail and discuss and talk about and debate about every Thursday and every Saturday leading up to October 5th. So starting this Thursday, August 15th, to Saturday, September 28th, we're going to have a community meeting webinar by which a leadership, one of our national department heads is going to invite anyone who wants to be a part, invite you guys to see what their solution is to change the power dynamic in our communities nationwide. We have 19 departments. We have leadership in 12 or 13 of them. We now have an international department because we're in 6 countries. All of our national leadership is going to roll out to you, the general public, what the plans are as it relates to moving black people forward in their given department. Those departments, the areas that we're going to cover, just so you know, agribusiness, business development, both here and abroad, cultural affairs and diplomacy, domestic policy and sustainability, economics and finance, education, employment and training, foreign policy, health and nutrition, information technology, intelligence and defense, legal, national security, media, marketing and PR, politics, and spiritual health and well-being. We're going to roll out plans in all the departments that we have national leadership. In those departments that we don't have leadership, we are inviting people to come on board and give us their plans. Brother Craig Lee, who is a business owner, entrepreneur, revolutionary, intellectual, I'm not sure what I call him a political strategist, has an intelligent, revolutionary, visionary solution for building the political machine that we need to move ourselves forward and build political power. Brother Craig is a supporter of the Black Gold movement. He's a supporter of the Black Gold Nation, but he's not a leadership entity in this movement yet. But it doesn't matter. If you have a solution that's going to move black people forward, we want to hear that. Brother Craig Lee has a solution to move black people forward, and he's going to present that solution in the community meeting / webinar where we're talking about political power, ADOS, and reparative justice moving forward. The Black Gold movement has leadership in multiple departments, but we don't have all the leadership in all the departments. So we're looking for that leadership to roll out a solution for our people nationwide. So what if we were so bold as to have black people go get other black people? What if one black person got another black person, and for 27 days we did one getting one, and at the end of the 27th day, everybody gave $4, and we had $500+ million to work with? What do we do with that money? We start putting the things in place to make put our people in a position to win. We give these 19 departments a $1 million budget to do what needs to be done to put black people in a position to win. We put money into developing our own security agency, our own intelligence agencies, our own military. We put money into a political system that's going to always put us in the forefront of building political power. We put money into an agricultural system that will allow us to feed ourselves without input from anybody else. We put money into our foreign businesses and brothers and sisters overseas so that we can help them be bigger, better, and stronger, which helps us be bigger, better, and stronger. If you haven't seen my live broadcast I did this past Saturday, check it out. I give detail. I give 15 different things that we could do with that $500 million. And at the end of everything that I give, all of which is very revolutionary, visionary things to change the black community, at the end of it, I had like $241.5 million left. And that's the first $500 million. And you have to remember that that $500 million comes every month. Black people have money. Black people consume some $2.4 trillion every year buying stuff from other people. Other people from other countries don't come to America and go straight to the black community to help their family run a business that they've had for years or start a business. They don't do that because they like us or because they respect us or because they want us to have good products and services. They do because they can and they know we have money. When are we going to stop giving our money to other people and give that money to ourselves? What if we did for ourselves what we've done for other people and acted on that? What if we did again what we've done for other people and acted on that? What if we pretended that black survival and advancement was the movie Black Panther? What if we pretended that protecting black children and building black institutions was the movie Black Panther? What if we pretended that protecting our women, our elders, our children, and building an agricultural system that we can own and control was the movie Black Panther? And we gave to that cause like we did to the movie Black Panther. The movie Black Panther made over $1 billion in the first month. They made $1 billion the second month, but I'm not sure about those numbers. But in the first month, conservative estimates are that black people gave 75 to 80% of that $1 billion in 1 month. That's $750 to $800 million that we gave to a movie in 1 month. What could we do with $500 million in 1 month? And if that's coming every month, what could we do? So I'm saying that the brief snapshot I gave is reality. A reality that we have to face in this country if we're going to push back against the very real threats that exist and if we're not going to become a permanent underclass. I'm saying we have everything we need to put ourselves in a position to win. So if you have not seen Brother Ricky Smiley's video, please watch it again. It's on my Facebook page. It's on the Black Gold Devalue page, which is the name of the book that I wrote as opposed to Black Gold Nation. It's there. Watch it. And we need you to act. Again, Brother Ricky Smiley gave some good suggestions. And he's right. We do need to arm ourselves. We do need to train. We do need to start putting food aside. But all of us aren't ready to do that. All of us can't afford to do that. All of us aren't cognitively ready to make that move. However, all of us, those of us that care about black people, those of us that love black people, those of us that want to see black people win, there are two things we can do right now today. The first thing we can do is find another black person. We're not going to win if we don't have enough black people that are on the same page. If you love black people, if you care about black people, if you want to see black people win, if you want to push back against these very real threats that we're facing, find another black person that thinks like you. They don't have to have the same level of understanding as you. They don't have to have the same understanding of history that you might have if you know black history or African history. They don't have to be as committed as you. All they need to have is the desire to see black people win. And I venture to say that most black people want to see black people win. Even those brothers and sisters who are confused on what we need to do to see black people win, they might have a different understanding of what the problem is or what we need to do, but they want to see black people win. There's a lot of black people that want to see black people win. We want you to find one more. We're asking you to find another black person that wants to see black people win. Then we want you to see our presentation, A Nation Within a Nation, because we want you to understand what the Black Gold Movement is all about. We want you to understand the logic of it, the simplicity of it, how possible it is, and what we have in place to put ourselves in a position to win. Our newest ambassador, brother named Travis London, he's the one that I'm starting with today, along with my 14 to 15 others. He saw the presentation last night. He's now coming on board as a Black Gold ambassador, and he came to us from another ambassador, Sister Tamika Thomas, who is out of Dallas Fort Worth, and brother Travis is out of Donaldsonville, Louisiana. And that's how it works. One black person getting another black person, and then those two black persons getting two more black people. So the one thing you can do right now to push back against that threat that brother Ricky Smiley is talking about in his video of organized white supremacy is go get another black person. And once you get that black person, go to our website, our events website, blackgold-wakandarising.com, and click on presentations and RSVP for a presentation. If you've already seen the presentation, click on Survival Summit and learn what we're doing as it relates to organizing this Survival Summit. We have to find enough black people that see the threat, understand the threat, want to push back against the threat, and are ready to do something. There are black people in this country and even around the world that have some phenomenal skills that we need to push back. We got to know how to feed ourselves, defend for ourselves, build for ourselves, have our own institutions. We need everything across the board that any other community needs. But we have to be in control of it. We have to own it. We have to be able to dictate what happens within that environment. And we have the ability to do that if we have enough black people that are on board to make it happen. So the first thing you can do right now is go get another black person. And the two of you go get two more. And the four of you go get four more. All of you go to our events website, Blackgold-Wakanda Rising, click on presentations. And if you haven't seen it, RSVP for a presentation so you can see what we're all about. Then after that, after you've seen it, if you want to become a member, go to click on a Survival Summit and see what the summit is all about. Because we have to focus on our survival as a group. There's no black person in this country that cares about black people who cannot do that right now. That's one thing that all of us can do right now to ensure that we are organizing ourselves to push back against the threat of white supremacy. A very real threat that all of us are going to have to face because it's not coming, it's here. The second thing all of us can do is become a supporting member of the Black Gold Movement by giving $4 per month. It's not a lot of money. I know that. But it's not a lot of money by design. All of us, most of us, the vast majority of us can afford $4 a month because we waste that money every other day on snacks, on soda, on chips, going out, going to the movies, buying a drink at a club, buying cigarettes, on a bad diet. We waste that. If enough black people in enough numbers give a small amount of money, we have enough to do what we need to do. And I am telling you that the Black Gold Movement has reached a point that everything we've been working on for the past 2.5, 3 years, we are now at a point that we're ready to move and put that money to use. But we can never do that if we don't have enough, black people that are on board to make that happen. No movement moves without people, and we are no different. We have to put ourselves in a position to win, and we can't do that with just talk. We can't do that by simply thinking about what we should have, thinking about what we should do. We can't just do that expecting a black celebrity, athlete, actor, whomever to give their money to the cause for black people. We have a better chance of getting 100 black people to give $4 than someone with millions to give 400. It's too difficult to get to those persons first off, and then we have to give them an understanding of what we're all about so that they can be a part of what we're doing. Not to say that it's impossible, and we are trying to connect with people on that level, but it's easier for us to connect with everyday average brothers and sisters because they are in our communities. They're right next to us. We're related to them. We see them every day. We don't see Kendrick Lamar every day. We don't see Jay-Z every day. We don't see Ricky Smiley every day. They're harder to get to because of who they are. But that doesn't mean we can't reach the people that we can reach and utilize that energy, that black intellect, that black genes, that black creativity, because we need it. And one more thing that Brother Ricky talked about, which coincides directly with why we're doing this Survival Summit. He talks about If your pastor in your church isn't talking to you about the reality of white supremacy and preparing for it, then you might be in the wrong church. In the Black Gold Movement, we don't do religion. Religion is too touchy. It causes too many issues. You can't make anybody believe what they believe. You can't change their mind if they want to believe it. And we don't do that. We don't go there. We do spirituality, but we don't do religion. So what you believe is what you believe. But we know our people go to church. We know our people are members of organizations. And we know we need as many Black people as possible to make this thing happen. What Brother Ricky Smiley says in this video is true. Every Black church in this country needs to be talking about the reality of white supremacy, because the reality of white supremacy affects us as Black people in this country. And if your church and or your pastor is not talking about white supremacy and the real threat of being Black in America, then yeah, you might be in the wrong church. We need people like Ricky Smiley, people who are Christians but are paying attention, people who are religious but have some sense, people who believe in a higher power but don't want to see Black people fail. And then he made a statement that was it's profoundly heavy. It wasn't deep. It was profoundly heavy. It was profoundly deep might be the same thing. It was simplistically heavy. I'll say that. He says that he's worried about the kind of America, the kind of world he's going to leave for his grandchildren and his children, because he knows America's changing. He says he's worried about the kind of America, the kind of world he's leaving for his grandchildren and his children, because America is changing. I sent Brother Ricky Smiley 2 emails, and I placed a message on his Facebook page, because he needs to know more about the Black Gold Movement. He needs to know that he does not have to worry about the America that he leaves his grandchildren, or the world that he's leaving his children to, if Black people organize themselves to ensure that our children are in a position to win. We can put things in place to ensure that the community looks different, the community functions differently, and the community is producing something that's different, because we own and control the community. I'm telling Brother Ricky Smiley that you don't have to worry if we act. You don't have to worry if we do. You don't have to worry if we move. If anyone that hears this live broadcast, or anyone that hears it after it's already on the page, after it's already gone live, if you know how to get to Brother Ricky Smiley, please let me know. I've tried. He needs to see the same presentation I want all of you guys to see, because he needs to understand what we have available to us. Black people have a lot of strengths that we can utilize to put ourselves in a position to win. Let's not focus on what we should have. Let's not focus on the problems. Let's not focus on the enemy systems. Let's not focus on the evils of that other people do to us. Let's focus on what we can do to push back against all of it. Let's put some things in place that will allow us to push back against all of it. Let's win. There's nothing stopping us but us. Once the Black people decide to do something, we do that thing in a fashion that completely changes it. This world would be a boring ass place if it wasn't for Black people, because we bring funk, creativity, energy, expertise, intellectual capital. We bring melanin. We bring rhythm. We bring bass. We bring creative expertise that other people simply don't have. And as a result, you see Black culture is the largest export that America has, because everybody wants to be like Black people. They don't want to be Black. They look down on Black. They talk about Black. They're organized against the Black. They take from the Black. They rape the Black. They rob the Black. They put the Black in the box. They assault the Black mind, body, spirit, and psyche, but they want to be Black, because Black is where it's at, and it's always been that way. What if we understood that and we acted accordingly? There is nothing stopping us but us. So let's put ourselves on a path not to be stopped. We have enemies that have been organized against us for a very long time. We are behind the 8 ball, as usual, but it doesn't have to be that way. We are born into a war that we did not start. We are 200 plus years behind on preparing for it. We have to educate our people to the fact that we're in a war and we're surrounded on every front. Talking about the problem is not going to change that. Simply praying about the problem is not going to change that. Hoping LeBron James gives us $100 million is not going to happen. It's not going to change it. but everyday black people can put things in place to change it. Everyone who hears this live broadcast can go get another black person, and the two of you can go to our website, Black-Wakanda Rising, click on presentations and RSVP. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Out of the hundreds of times I've given that presentation, I've only had maybe 4 black people who have said thank you, but no thank you. Everyone that sees the presentation comes on board and supports us in some fashion. Everybody, because it just makes sense. And I challenge you to see it and disagree with it, because the presentation is set up in the fashion that it lays everything out very clearly. Again, this isn't rocket science. We're not splitting atoms. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We want to bring our people together and put us in a position where we can win. I've given you a snapshot of what it means to be black in America. Brother Ricky Smiley has given you a high-level understanding of white supremacy and why we need to organize ourselves against it. I've given you one example of what we can do economically to put ourselves in a position to win. And I've told you what we could do with that money once we get that money from black people. And we will get that money from black people. How do you get $500 million from black people? You ask them for it. But to ask them for it, you have to be able to explain to them what you want them to give the $4 for. This is nothing we cannot do if we decide to do it. So for all of you black people who have solutions for black people, you need to be a part of the Survival Summit. For all of you black people who say you love black people, you need to be a part of the Survival Summit. For all you black people who say you want to see black people do better, you need to be a part of the Survival Summit. For all of you black people that are members of churches and or organizations, you need to be a part of the Survival Summit, because we need your energy, your expertise, and your membership. We're only going to win if we win together. If we're not unified, we're not going to win. And there is nothing our unification can't push back against and protect us from. Nothing. Because we outnumber the world. Melanated people outnumber the non-melanated people 7-1. There's nothing our unity can't push back against and protect us from. But we got to be organized first. For the same reason that Brother Ricky Smiley said, as relates to you might be in the wrong church, is the reason why we are saying black church and black organization, because our people go to church. There are some 85,000 black churches in America. 85,000. We want all of them, but we know we're not going to get all of them. That's a given. But what if we only get 10%? And all of them are on board to building establishing black communities with influence, value, and power? That's a lot of black people. I don't even know how many black organizations we got. I know on Facebook there's thousands of them. What if we only get 10% of those black organizations on Facebook, and they become a part of a movement that has a purpose, has a plan, has leadership, and is ready to move? That's a lot of black people. We don't need everybody. We don't want everybody. All we need is a critical mass. And we're hoping that you are one of those persons who can help us make up that critical mass. So if you want more information about the Black Gold Movement, go to our website, blackgoldnation.com, click on About, read our mission. If the mission confuses you, on the same website, click on Why We Must Build and watch some videos. Not just Brother Ricky Smiley's video, not just the snapshot that I just gave, but watch some videos of other black people talking about what it means to be black in America, talking about our history, our culture, what's been done to us, what's been stolen from us, the reality that we face moving forward. If you understand why we need to do our own thing and build our own stuff, go to our events website, Black-Wakanda Rising, and see the presentation. If you've already seen the presentation and you're not a supporting member, click on support, scroll down, click that subscribe button, and become a supporting member at $4 per month. An amount that's absolutely ridiculous. But it's ridiculous for a reason. Because we needed a number that black people could afford, could be a part of, and that all of us could do. If you're already a supporting member, you've already seen the presentation, and you want to be a part of this Survival Summit, then click on the Survival Summit and read more about the summit. We need people to help us find more leadership, because we got to have more solutions. We need people to help us find more black people, because we got to have more black people that are involved. We need people to help us connect with more black churches, because again, we want to roll out this national plan to move the black nation forward in churches nationwide across this country. So we need people who are connected to black churches, and we need people who are connected to black organizations, because again, we need as many organizations as we can get to be a part of this Survival Summit, because we have to focus on our survival, not our individual survival, because that's not enough. Not our individual success, because that's not enough. Not just us trying to move our own personal thing forward, because there's not enough. We will lose if we keep doing that. because your personal success doesn't it's it's a drop in the bucket as opposed to white supremacy and what we're facing. Your personal individual success is a drop in the bucket as opposed to the predators and the enemies that we have to push back against. And the only way we're going to do that is if we're organized, if we're connected, and we have a plan of action. And the Black Gold Nation, Black Church, and Black Organization Survival Summit is that plan of action. Our first community meeting webinar is this Thursday, and we're focused on agriculture. We're focusing on how can we develop our own systems of agriculture so we can feed ourselves without anybody else's input, and we can create industry from that process so that we can employ ourselves and move ourselves forward. That's what we're talking about this Thursday with the community meeting webinar. Every Black person needs to be a part of that conversation. As many Black people as possible need to be part of that conversation. We need to connect Black farmers and the urban gardeners with Black people. We need to take food directly from the Black farmer and or the urban gardener to the Black plate in the Black family. To do that, we got to be organized and connected. To do that, we got to have Black people that know how to do that. To do that, we got to have our own closed loop agricultural ecosystem that we can own and control. All of which is possible if we decide to do so. The brother that's over our agribusiness department, his name is Robert Harding. I've done interviews with him in the past. They are on the Facebook page and they're on the website. The brother knows what he's talking about. The brother's been doing it for a very long time. This brother's been contracted with NASA to grow food in outer space, and he is leadership in this organization because he understands that we have to be able to feed ourselves. If you can't feed yourself, you can't be a nation. If you can't protect that food that you're growing to feed yourself, you can't be a nation. If you don't have economic and financial systems connected to that growing of that food so you can have your own revenue base, you can't be a nation. If you can't legally protect everything you're doing, you can't be a nation. If you don't have a political machine to protect everything you do, because let me tell you, by my count, the 74 Black Wall Street type communities that we've built, 73 of them have been destroyed by white people. And that destruction has come from at the hands of the white police department, the FBI, the CIA, and politics. Not having political power will have your Black community on the map to have a freeway built through it like they did in Durham, North Carolina. We have to have political power. If you don't have a political machine to build political power, you can't have a nation. If we can't heal ourselves spiritually and learn about spirituality and deal with the trauma that's been forced upon us over the past 400 years, we will never be a nation, because slavery and everything that happened after slavery is still haunting us. We got to deal with that. That's why we got to have our own institutions so we can deal with our own spiritual health. We need our own stuff. No one is going to give us our own stuff. We're not going to nonprofit our way to nation building. White people aren't going to give your nonprofit the money that you need to rival their power. It doesn't work that way. Nonprofits are easily controlled because they get their money from the government and other public sources. We can't go that route. America is a corporation. The only way we're going to win against America and or compete with America and make America respect us is if we act as a corporation, which we most certainly are doing. If we're going to win, we need Black people that can still critically think, Black people that are either unafraid or won't allow their fear to stop them, and Black people that want to do something. And if you're that kind of Black person, we need you to be a part of this movement. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what organizations you're a member of. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how many degrees you have, what if you have a degree or not, how many kids you got, who you love, how you vote politically. If you care about Black people moving forward and you want to see us win, you want to protect Black children, Black women, and our elders. You want us to have our own institutions, our own businesses, our own systems that we put in place to move us forward, that you need to be a part of this movement, because that is what we're doing. We got to have allies. We got to have people that are ready to protect the community. Listen to Brother Ricky Smiley's live. It's less than 20 minutes. He puts it out there, and the brother is right. And we want to take what he said to the next level, which is why I sent the brother 2 emails and I posted the message on his Facebook page. So if anybody knows how to connect with Brother Ricky Smiley, please let me know. Because the brother needs to know that he does not have to worry, because Black people can do. And with his platform, he can most certainly help us help Black people to do. So let me make sure I don't have any questions from anybody. Brother Bonet, thank you for making it. Your hoodie is on the way, by the way. Sorry for the delay. Thank you. Brother McMillan, he and I were in the military together. Thank you for making it. Sister Akshita, our Black Gold ambassador in the Bay Area. She says, oh my God, everything is coming into alignment. Amen. It is, sister. Sister Tueri, member of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, helped raise my children. A wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sister. CL, I'm not sure if you're male or female. Thank you for making it. I apologize, I don't know that. Sister Amani, thank you for making it. Brother Jerry, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Brother Baruti, another former member of the Shrines of the Black Madonna. I'm not sure if he's still a member or not. Brother Eddie, thank you for being here. Brother Anthony, thank you for being a part. Hopefully, I can get Brother Anthony to help us with the Survival Summit because he's most certainly conscious. And I got to get the brother to help us out with this thing so we can make it happen. Sister Rafika, thank you. Sister Rafika is going to be the pitmaster. We are having a fundraiser September 1st in the Greater Houston area. This is going to be our first fundraiser to fund our agricultural system here in the Greater Houston area. September 1st, we're going to have a barbecue plate fundraiser. She is our pitmaster. She's going to be cooking all the food. You can pre-order your plate right now on the website, Black Gold-Wakanda Rising. Click on barbecue plate. Yeah, barbecue plate. Scroll down. We have 3 different offers: a silver, gold, and platinum plate. You can pre-order your plate now, and we need you to pre-order now because we need the money to make the fundraiser happen so she can buy the food. Blah blah blah. A quick sidebar: we're doing a lot, and we're doing a lot because a lot needs to be done. November 16th of this year, we're going to have our first Black Gold Hustle / Conscious Community Center block party in the Greater Houston, Texas area. Our goal is to raise $100,000 so we can establish a physical presence in the Greater Houston, Texas area. Everything I just said will run through that Black Gold Hustle / Conscious Community Center. We got to have conscious community centers nationwide so our people will have a place where they can come and get every single thing they need. They can spend their money to buy Black products. They can spend their money to buy Black apparel. They can spend their money to buy from our convenience stores. They can plug into our STEM centers, our trade centers, our spiritual healing and well-being centers. They can use our podcast studio. They can be part of our agricultural hub. We have to have that nationwide. And in November 16th of this year, we're going to have the first one here in the Greater Houston, Texas area. And we're going to have several of them around the country, block parties, to raise $100,000 per location. That's something else that we're doing on top of everything else that we're doing. And we've been working on doing all of this stuff, putting things in place for the last 2.5, 3 years. And now we've reached a point that we're ready to do it. But again, we can't do it without you because no movement moves without Black people. Brother Boyd, I'm assuming you're a brother. If not, I apologize. Thank you for making it. Christian, I'm not sure if you're still there, Christian. I tagged you by accident. Christian and I used to work together at Brinks. He is not melanated, but he's still a wonderful man with a family. And he and I go way back. Both of us were in the Army, actually. CL, apologies. What were you reading from? I was reading a snapshot. I can send it to you. It's what it means to be Black in America. The things that we're faced with right now in 2019 moving forward. And I give that because we need to understand that things are happening in this country that are anti-us. Because if we don't understand what's happening in this country and how it's anti-us, then we will never be able to organize ourselves to push back against that stuff that's anti-us. And if we don't push back against that stuff that's anti-us, anti-Black people, anti-Black family, Black woman, Black man, Black child, our children aren't going to win. If we don't put our children in a position to have power so they can dictate what happens to them because they own and control their community, they have power, then we're putting them in a position to lose. And if our children are in a position to lose because we didn't put things in place so that they can win, every generation of Black child to follow is also going to lose. So that's the list that I was reading from, and that's why I read that list, because we have to get hip and stop playing games. Those that are against us are playing chess, and we're playing checkers. They haven't changed their game. We just have yet to organize ourselves and get hip to it. They are as they are, and they're going to do what they're going to do. It is us that has to change. But if we did change a little bit, my God, the things that we could accomplish. I'm not asking a Black person to give hours a day. I'm not asking Black people to give 20, 30, 40, 50 dollars per month. I'm talking about 5 minutes a day, $4 per month. Something all of us can do. Even if you're on unemployment, you can afford $4 a month because you buy chips and soda and snacks, whatever. Don't buy a bag of chips 2 bags of chips. Give that money to the Black Gold Movement so we can put Black people in the position to win. All of us can afford $4, and all of us can find another Black person to afford $4 so that collectively we can win. Because if we're not together, we're not going to win, period, bottom line. So that's what I was reading from Sister. If you want me to, I can send it to you. Sister Cherie, thank you for making it. That is Cherie. Sister Dorothy, thank you. Brother Muata, if you're still there, Brother Muata was a member. I think he's still a member. He and I are both members of the Shrine, but he was also a member of the church's security force, the Holy Order of the Maccabees. Absolutely phenomenal organization. The security for the Black church. This is why I tell Black people to not make the mistake of assuming that all Christians are created equal, all religious people are created equal, because just because you have a religious belief doesn't mean you're ignorant, doesn't mean you're weak, doesn't mean you're unaware, doesn't mean you're not connected. I will put the Shrines of the Black Madonna's Christian understanding against any Christian organization that has ever existed in this country from the beginning of time. I've seen one other Black church, one, to rival the Shrine's message, and that Reverend Wright's church that Barack Obama used to go to. I don't know what they were doing, but their message was the same. Don't make the mistake of assuming that just because a Black person is religious, or as a Muslim, or as a Christian, or as a Hindu, or as a Buddhist, or whatever, don't assume that they're weak or ignorant or don't care or disconnected. That is a mistake on your part, and that hurts both you and them, which of course hurts all Black people, which hurts Black children, because we have to be able to work with our people despite our differences. That's why in this movement, we're concerned with 3 things. You identify as a Black person with Black people. You understand that we have a special and unique set of circumstances that only we can fix, and you want to help us fix them. In the Shrine, we would say, you're Black, you're oppressed, and you want to help us end this oppression. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is more important than that. Because if we don't take care of those 3 things, if we're not working toward those 3 things, then all that other crap, it's not going to matter, because we're not going to be in a position to determine and dictate our future. So anyway, that's Brother Muata. Good brother. Brother Kelvin, the urban farmer, I've been trying to reach you for a minute, brother. Please send me a message. Thank you for making. Brother Richard, thank you. Bishop Abalesa, if you're still there, a minister in the church, thank you. Sister Ann, thank you. Brother Vince. Brother Vince is a supporter of the movement, and he was actually the first Black person to give $4, and he's still giving his $4 every single month. And Brother Vince came to us. He either saw one of my posts or saw a live. I'm not sure I was doing live broadcast at that time, but he eventually saw the presentation, and as a result of seeing the presentation, he said, Black man, it makes sense. And he's been a supporting member from the very beginning. He was the very first one. So when we start bringing in revenue, he'll be one of the very first ones that start to reap the benefits of investing in the Black Gold Nation, because he was the first person to give his $4. And if you send him a message, ask him if that $4 broke him. It did not. And he has had, like all of us, he's had life happen to him. But in the midst of life happening, his $4 didn't stop. And that's what we have to do. We have to understand that life is going to happen. We made the mistake of trying to get all of our ducks in a row, getting everything lined up, getting everything we make excuses as to why we don't get involved, not understanding that every day we make an excuse, every day we don't put into the Black movement, every day we don't make a conscious effort to build something for ourselves, is a day we get weaker. A day our children have less protection. A day our enemies get stronger. Everybody can find another Black person. Everybody can afford $4. And Brother Vince has been doing it from the very beginning. Ask him if that $4 broke him. Ask him if he's had, well, of course, he's not going to tell you, but he'll tell you. Life happens to all of us. All of us. But we have to make sure that regardless of what's happening, we continue to move. And if we do this thing the right way, the way that we're supposed to do it, and we have more Black people involved when life happens, when life sidelines us, the movement doesn't stop moving, because we have people that are around us, that are with us, that are working with us, that will continue to make the movement happen. And that's how we have to be. Brother Vince, thank you for being here. Brother Anthony, thank you. Thank you for tagging Brother Will. See, Brother Anthony is doing what I'm talking about. One getting one. It's not rocket science. It's not deep. I am telling you, if you don't believe me, let me know. I will show you the spreadsheet, how it looks. One Black person gets one Black person. That 2 gets 2. That 4 gets 4. By the 27th day, if everybody gave $4, we got 500 million. Let's say if we only get half, 250 million. We only get 25%, 125 million. We still doing fine. What could we do with $100 million per month? Thank you, Brother Anthony, for getting your one. I appreciate it. Sister Shakesha, thank you for making it. Brother Michael, thank you for making it. Brother Lonnie, thank you. Sister Cena, thank you for making it. Brother Jeremiah, Brother Derek, thank you. Thank you. Brother Levante, Mr. Davis, he and I were in the military together. Sister Akshita says, indeed, give it up. We have what it takes. Amen. She says, yes. Sister Cena says, Anis, he spoke the truth. That part. Brother Kazi Oxford, thank you for your continued support on sharing my information, my live broadcast, and adding your wisdom to that. Brother Kazi is a fellow nation builder, an ally that we need in this struggle. There are other nation builders out there doing their thing. We're not saying we are the answer. We're saying we are an answer. And we understand that we need allies. So to me, it doesn't matter what you're doing if you're trying to do something for Black people, as long as you're trying to do something for Black people. When I was an active member of the Shrine, we were very close to the Nation of Islam, Mosque 45 here in Houston. They were Muslims. They are Muslims. We were Christians. We are Christians. But we had the same objective, to see Black people win. And we worked together and collaborated all the time. So just because we have a different understanding, a different approach, a different ideology, whatever, doesn't mean we can't work together, because as quiet as it's kept, we need as many allies as we can get. And Brother Kazi is one of those nation builders. So I appreciate you being here, brother. So Achita says, holistic healing is in order and much needed. Amen. We are a band of brothers and sisters, foot soldiers, legs. They are playing chess and playing checkers and sorry. Okay, please send it. I'll send it, Sister CL. I'm sorry, sister, brother. I'm assuming you're a sister. Sister Achita says that part. Free People News. Thank you for making it, brother, and being a part. Brother O'Neal Bosley, part of the live broadcast. I appreciate it. Okay, so thank you guys for being part of the live broadcast. I sincerely appreciate it. Brother O'Neal, if you did make it, I need you to go to our website, Black Gold-Wakanda Rising. Click on Survival Summit. You most certainly need to be a part of that Survival Summit, because your understanding, your intellect, your lack of fear, your intellectual capital, as you already know, can be utilized in multiple areas. We simply need to put you in a position so that you can do what you need to do that's going to move Black people forward. So you need to be a part of the Survival Summit in as many ways as you can, because we need you to make this thing happen. For those of you guys that know O'Neal Bosley or are aware of Free People News, this is the kind of Black person that we need to be involved in this movement, and the kind of Black person that we need to support. We do have Black people that are unafraid. We do have Black people that are still critically thinking. We do have Black people who are intelligent. We do have Black people that are religious or spiritual like he is, that understands what's what. I challenge any person that thinks a religious person is weak and have a conversation with Brother O'Neal. I like to videotape it and sell tickets. Don't make the mistake of assuming that we don't have Black people that are ready to do, brothers and sisters that are ready to do. We have them, but we have to understand that if we put them in a position to help Black people, they become a threat to the power establishment. And every single time we've had a Black person that's tried to put Black people in a position to win, they've been targeted for destruction and or destroyed. So if we're going to put our brother out there, if we're going to put our sisters out there in a position to lead, we got to protect them to make sure that they are taken care of. So, Brother Neal, you need to be a part of the Survival Summit, because we need you to make this thing happen. Thank you, Sister CL. I appreciate it. Sister Achita, this is absolutely a healthy part of the solution to install the people's government under Class Action 567 and the total recall of the Ethiopian matriarch. Hey, my Sister Jasmine. Okay, cool. So thank you guys for being a part. I sincerely appreciate it. Always remember two things. No one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And absolutely nothing is more sacred than liberation and salvation of Black people. Remember, the first community meeting webinar is this Thursday, August 15th at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We need you to RSVP. It's a $4 fee for the webinars, because again, the $4 helps us do what we need to do. We're going to send you the Zoom link after you RSVP and pay your $4, and then we'll go from there. We're dealing with agriculture, because that is one of the most important things we have to do to become a nation, to move ourselves forward. We need to be able to feed ourselves and stand on our own 2 feet. And we need to be able to create processes from that process of feeding ourselves that will allow us to educate and train Black people so that we can win. So thank you guys for being a part. I sincerely appreciate it. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.